If you felt tricked with last week's movie offerings, get ready. There are treats galore, including a return of more than just the Terminator. For Oscar watchers, look at Harriet and the Irishman, two contenders that should get the Best Actress and Actor discussions moving in a positive direction. First, though, there's Terminator Dark Fate, a return to the original lineup including Linda Hamilton, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and producer James Cameron. In the world of sci-fi purists, this is the sequel to Terminator 2, not those other projects that introduced new actors in key roles. In this installment, we get a look back at where Cameron left off, then a 22-year jump to Mexico City where clearly new cyborgs have landed from the future. One we discover isn't a Terminator, but an augmented human who has incredible skills. She's charged with rescuing a factory worker from a souped-up Terminator played by Gabriel Luna. The augmented human, played by Mackenzie Davis, isn't quite up to the challenge, so Hamilton's Sarah Connor returns and begins the assault, complete with catchphrases and a link to Schwarzenegger that should get fans cheering. Directed by Tim Miller, the man behind Deadpool, this installment has more laughs than you might expect and a touching reunion that will make you glad some politicians don't mind making movies.
But I'm here to protect you.
While the story is hardly as slick as the originals, it's enough to jumpstart the franchise, if the crowds are there. Davis and Luna are good additions, but without Schwarzenegger and Hamilton, it's unlikely anyone would want to say, "I'll be back for Dark Fate." For folks who have never heard of Cynthia Erivo, Harriet is an excellent introduction. In the fact-based drama, Erivo, a Tony, Emmy, and Grammy winner for The Color Purple, plays Harriet Tubman, the woman behind the Underground Railroad. Directed by Casey Lemons, the film shows how a slave called Minty fights to return to her husband after she's put up for sale by her master. As she makes the escape, Minty becomes Harriet and soon the guide for others hoping to escape. For a good stretch of the film, Lemons emphasizes the action aspect of the freedom fighter's life, stopping only to give Erivo speeches that almost guarantee attention will be paid. Some of those get to be too noble for the film's own good, but the strength of Tubman's convictions can't be denied. Harriet is a great launching pad for an actress who has all the skills to be a very, very big star.
Let me put McGee on the phone.
And finally, there's The Irishman, a Netflix film that will have several weeks in theaters before it hits the streaming service. Directed by Martin Scorsese, it's a sprawling epic that lets Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, and Joe Pesci have one more shot at organized crime as men on the inside. Looking back on his career, De Niro's Frank Sheeran recalls how he got into the mob and how he dealt with those who got in his way. Joe Pesci turns in an Oscar-level performance as his mentor. Pacino is exciting as labor leader Jimmy Hoffa. While much has been written about the special effects that enable the actors to look young, it's really their ability to make characters full body that gives The Irishman its life. Although it clocks in at 3.5 hours, this is one of those films that's worth the time spent. Even with 2 months of prestige films in the wings, it's one of the best films of the year. With your movies in a minute, I'm Bruce Miller.